This is Nick with Build Brothers Roofing at 2433 Indigo Drive. Starting my digital inspection, we are on top of a concrete S-tile roof. Homeowner is telling me there's a big leak coming from this section. And so what I think is happening is we can see all these gaps right here on this rake line. All these gaps of water is basically getting underneath, right? And that's the underlayment. So every time it rains, water trickles down, comes down through here, gets underneath each and every one of these tiles, and we're getting a lot of water underneath this section. You can see a big gap right there as well. The other issue that we're having is just this is a very old roof, right? So original roof, this roof is more than likely, I'd say 35 years old. I'm not sure when this house was built. But you have a combination of old underlayment, old paper that needs to be replaced, and areas where water is getting underneath the tile itself, and you know that's a recipe for leaks. We can also see that the majority of this mortar is starting to wear through, so this mortar is really not doing much at all as far as sealing goes, and this goes throughout the entire roof. So I'll work my way around. I pulled another tile just on a completely separate roof plane just to give the homeowner an idea of what the rest of the roof looks like. But again, you can see how damaged the majority of these mortar caps are. This kind of stuff is going to let water in every single time it rains. I mean, this stuff literally just kind of comes apart at this point. I noticed that we have very tight valleys on this roof as well. So we can see just how tight these valleys are. What we want to do is whenever we get on a roof, whenever we do a new roof, we want to open these valleys up. That way we're going to allow for water to flow freely. Any kind of debris will flow freely instead of getting caught in the valley itself. And what happens is when debris gets caught in the valley, whenever it rains, instead of that water just flowing off the roof, it ends up diverting and getting underneath the tiles, and that's going to cause all kinds of leaks. Obviously we have a bunch of solar panels on this roof. We are going to need to remove those and replace them when we do any kind of repair. But again, I went ahead and pulled a tile just over here in the middle of this other roof plane, just so the homeowner can see what we're dealing with. And we can see just how old this underlayment is, number one. And then we can also see all the watermarks that are coming down. So water has been penetrating this roof for quite some time. Now this underlayment is extremely brittle. This stuff literally just kind of just crumbling in my fingertips. Fresh, good underlayment is going to be very rough. It's going to be very thick and granular to the touch. This underlayment is neither of those. So when I see an underlayment that looks like this, that's a telltale sign that the product has gone past its life expectancy. It looks like there have been some repairs along some of these penetrations, but you can see that a lot of the sealant used around these penetrations has completely worn through. Now every time it rains, water is going to be coming down these pipes and getting into the property itself. So based off the condition of the underlayment, based off the leaks that are going on, in my professional opinion, this roof is in need of a replacement. Now these tiles are in good shape. This concrete tile is going to last a very long time. Obviously it's a little dirty, but they're still very strong. There's no need to replace the actual tile, but what we want to do is called a lift and reset, where we lift these tiles up, we replace the underlayment that's underneath it. Right now you have one layer of probably a UDL 30 that is underneath this roof. We're going to replace this with 2 layers of UDL 40, so a thicker, heavier underlayment. We're going to double it up. Once that's complete, we redo all the flashings for all the vents and penetrations, and then we take the tiles and we put them right back on top, and now you have a brand new roof. Now obviously if the homeowner wants to switch up the look of the home, we can go ahead and add a new tile. We can switch this up to a flat tile, we can switch the color up and just dramatically change the overall look of the house, but it's completely up to them. Obviously we have some solar panels that we're going to need to deal with as well. We are an elite sun power dealer, so all our solar crews are in-house. We remove and reinstall solar panels all the time for roofing projects. So we're going to go ahead and have to remove those and reinstall them. That's okay. The reinstall will come with a 10-year workmanship warranty from us as well. But in my professional opinion, yes, this roof needs to be replaced, and we can go ahead and do an emergency tarp in this section to stop any more water from coming down here when this next storm comes, and I'll explain that process to the homeowner. That's it for my inspection.